everyone. My name is Kevin Oh. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Synthya. I'm calling from South Korea here, and I'll be your presenter today. And okay, let me share my screen. Okay, today we are going to talk about something that probably you never heard, because we are dealing with the latest technologies out there, and definitely it's changing the landscape of what's happening in the audiobook world. And this is how we are going to unfold. I'll be introducing for about 10 minutes, and then we will dive into a little bit of our technology, what's available, what's making things possible. But it's not going to be really too technical, but at least just basics that you need to understand so that you see what's going to happen in the very near future. And we will show you a little bit of demo of actual service in action. And then lastly, we are going to talk about some of the business opportunities. I don't know where you're coming from, but if you're in the publishing industries and you're listening to this session, then definitely there's some opportunities in terms of business with us and with this technology. So that's something exciting. So they'll be coming in towards the end. And you will have plenty of time asking me some questions. And then I will try to answer as much as I can, and then we'll be wrapping up the session here. All right, about Synthia briefly. We're not going to get into too deep since it's not the IR pitching deck here, but just so you know, this Synthia has been starting since 2020 in November, and we are based in Seoul, Korea. Being recognized and awarded by many Korean government running programs. So we are being recognized, and thanks to NVIDIA, Google Cloud, and local hardware partnerships, we're getting a lot of support for our technologies. And our team has a wide range of experiences in the startups, developing the high-tech technologies, and also global business. And Korea has been an important test bed for us. Back in April, we signed an MOU with a leading audiobook publisher in Korea. And following that, we successfully completed a POC, proof of concept. And now we signed a contract with them, and several audiobooks that we produced are now available through the #1 audiobook service in Korea. Now, let me start a little bit briefly about how it all started, because we are tech companies with AI and voice technology. It doesn't have to be in audiobook, but then now there's a little bit of story that, a little bit of personal too, how we started all this. So there's a nonfiction book that I like to read, and one of my favorites. And I was looking for audiobook of that nonfiction book, and the author was actually female. But then only audiobook that I found was made in male voice, which I just didn't feel it's right. So what I did was, like, next 5 days, I scanned the books, literally taking pictures of it, and with our text-to-speech technology, I did it all that manually. It took me about 5 days, and I found the voice, one of the voice that we had, female voice, pretty close enough to the author's actual voice. And I made it, and then I listened to it. Oh, it was something that I was looking for, and the feel was different. And then the male voice that was made. Now it's bad, but it just wasn't right. And then I went like one step further. I made another with another voice, something a little bit different feel of the female voice, and that gave me just completely different experience. The same contents, nothing has changed. But then just changing the voice of narrator, it's just different experience. So that's when I realized there are a lot of things can be done. So I started looking into the market itself. There are a lot of competitors of AI voices out there, and there are very strong ones. However, most of them are they're looking for opportunities in the video content industry, because the size matters compared to audiobook. It's gigantic. So that's where everybody's heading. And AI voices that's available for making maybe audiobooks, it's just there, but it's just one of the application rather than specific to creating audiobooks. So that's where I looking into this area very seriously. And these are four very important points that I'll be keep repeating throughout the session here today. Now, one very important that we believe is important is making audiobooks should be affordable and very easy. So this is where we focus a lot last few months to make this happen. And I'm very happy to say that we have come pretty close to this where we are now providing this. Now, audiobook, it's not just a product that we can sell and make money, but we have to start looking into a possibility that audiobook is another way of consuming a book content. And third, personalization. Book is written to many people. We get to choose what to read, but there are many contents out there, video contents, and it's just personal. There's a logic that what we are interested in, just keep feeding the information that we wanted it, and user can choose. However, in terms of audiobooks, no, we don't get to choose. There's only one book in one voice, and that's it. Whether we listen to it or not, that's our choice. But other than that, we cannot choose the voice that we wanted. So this has to happen. And then fourth, I have to accept professional narrators. Their role is very important. We give great value to it. Personally, I think it's very important. They have very important assets to it. But for now, things are coming, things are changing. But I will be talking about how we can kind of evolve together, and they can benefit from this technology as well. It's not taking away their jobs in anywhere. We will be coexisting, and they will be having very different roles and taking a lot of benefits from this. All right, let's start with a little bit of market. Everyone knows audiobook market is growing. By 2032, it's expected to grow like $40 billion globally. In the US alone, about 92 million American people listen to an average of 4.8 audiobooks per year. That's great, well, compared to Korea. Now, the growth of the whole industry of publishing is led by audiobook itself. But even if it reaches $40 billion, still, it's not enough. So now, what kind of roles it's gonna play? Probably it's gonna help authors and anybody in the players will help creating more income for them. Also, for the user side, it's going to create new experiences. Now, book content is not just reading text. Now, listening can be another experience, or reading and listening at the same time. So I believe there's an opportunity that we can have another golden age in the publishing industry. In America, there's about 4 million books are published, but only 2% are made into audiobooks. It's just key thing is it's just expensive to make them. So now what we did was we figure where this expensive factors are existing, and it just hard manual works. Thanks to voice actors reading, recording, editing, and all these steps, it's just creating a lot of time. It creates like very expensive production cost. Now, with our technology, we automated the entire production process. So simply just uploading the file and just makes the audiobook ready in 10 minutes. And that's what we're gonna show today. Now, a little bit of technology. Hopefully I don't get into too deep so that bores everybody. So I just trying to minimize the depth of the information. But what allowed this whole automation process possible was thanks to the technology of LLM. I'm sure many of you heard ChatGPT, and some of you know what they do. Other than ChatGPT, there are a lot of other LLMs. Google has one called Gemini, and Meta called Llama 3, etc., etc. But what they do is they're like generalists. They do a lot of different things, and they're very capable. However, they are not specialists. They cannot do one thing very specific in detail. We tried all these technologies out there and push their boundaries and see whether they can do it for us, the magic. However, it's not there yet. So we end up taking one of the LLM out there and fine-tuned. Literally, we made that LLM specialize in making audiobooks. And because of that, it takes a lot of GPU power and very expensive. And whenever we use LLM, it uses GPU power to calculate all this stuff. So text is input, and then output is a text. And with that process, this is a little bit of a secret recipe that I shouldn't get into any deeper than this because my CTO is looking at me right next to me. So this is where we're gonna go, but this is what makes us unique. Okay, with an EPUB file upload, it goes through the LLM, that specialized LLM, that you're ready to go through all these processes, which I'm gonna be talking about, what it does. And then once it finishes its job, it sends the results to not the voice engine, but we have, I just put it in a like AI producer. Think about this way. When you hire a narrator, voice actors to record make your audiobooks, your book into an audiobook, would you accept the results when the voice actor didn't even read the book and just start recording it? No, the author has to read it first and understand the context, and then also the characters in the book, and then has to do a lot of plannings, and all these things, it just cannot be done without somebody playing that, and then we have that role in our engine. So this makes us very different than other AI voice engine companies out there. They just have a voice engine that converts text into sound, but we have a producer that's specializing into telling the voice engine how to make a sound. And then output is, of course, MP3 file, just simply can download it. This entire process is just like a very smooth, we are trying to make error-free, but it's very seamless. So all you have to do is just the EPUB file upload, and then we will take care of the rest. And this is what's happening in the background, and you will see the front side of what's happening here today. Now, these are some of the things that what our specialized LLM does when we upload the EPUB file. First, it analyzes the structure of the book, because the book itself from the EPUB file, it's a kind of a printed version of the file. So it has to analyze what's the title, where's the chapters, how chapters are composed of, where the paragraphs, and all this stuff. It analyzes it. And also it analyzes the content. Literally, it reads the whole book in a matter of a few seconds. And you will see a little bit of that in action. Automatically, it reads really well and fast. And also what it does is it understands the whole book and then start analyzing the characters of the book. And then the fourth, basically it cleans up the parts, pieces that doesn't have to be read to make an audiobook, like page numbers, footers, and all these things that are necessary for the audiobook. It cleans up automatically. Now, this is where unique thing is coming. It casts a voice. We have a full of voices, which we will evolve to the next stage. But we have a lot of voices synthetically made, and our engine automatically casts based on the results of the analysis what kind of voice is most suitable for that character or a narrator, and then it matches up. Okay, and also lastly, it tells, like a director telling the AI voice engine how to read this specific script and sentences and whatnot, and gives a specific guide to it. And that makes us very different than just making the sound from the text. Okay, however, although LLM sounds like very magic, tool. However, there are some challenges. We have been pushing the boundaries of these LLMs out there. And unfortunately, there are some significant challenges they have. One is it's a big, so it's just slow. Slow, it's cost increase. So it's not good. And it's not always accurate. You heard hallucinations. Sometimes it reads it, and then when it spits out, it's not same as the book that the author wrote. It just writes its own. So that's big no-no. And a lot of times, maybe it's the resource issue, but if we send a book of 300 pages long, it just cannot take the whole thing. Okay, so there's some limitations, and it's not always just spitting out the same results. So that's causing some troubles, and it's very expensive. It's going down, but still it's expensive. And the better the engine, newest engine out there, it's getting expensive to use. So it's not practical because we are focusing on making the audiobook affordable to everybody, and that's the key. And when it's expensive, it's not option for us. So what we did was we end up making our own optimized system. So taking our own specialized LLM. So we're not using the LLMs out there. And we have our own high performance GPUs and utilize this to lower the cost so that we can help people to make audiobooks at a reasonable price. And lastly, our voice engine is a little bit different than others because everybody called text to speech. That's what typical AI voice engines are, just converting text to phonetic sounds. But now we have, this is our internal names of it, but we went one step further. So what we call text to read, TTR. What it does is we have identified from all our voice data that we train the engine with, what's the unique characteristics of narrator reading, not just making the sound. It's breathing is one thing, and emphasis, their strength changes. When there's emphasized parts, it gets like strong. And when it has to be soft, it gets soft. And also speed changes. Sometimes read fast to create this emotion, and then sometimes it goes slow. And there are a few other things, elements that we have. And having these creates a more close to human narration. And when you listen to it a long time, it just you forget this is AI read. And the next step is we call text to talk, literally expressing emotions. It's designed for dialogues, suitable for fictions. It's not going to be as dramatic as audio drama, but it will be different than single narration book. So we are looking at somewhere in between. And this is we are testing right now with the multicasting. We will show you a beta testing version of it today, and you will take a look what's coming. And text to audio, this is our next generation model. Basically, it will make any sound that cannot be written in the text. A lot of like screaming sound, hush sound, any sound that human makes, the AI engine should be able to make it, generating it. And it will be good for specific genres book that out there. And so these are coming, and some of them are available right now, and you will take a look at today. Now, here I'm gonna switch the screen to our service and have you take a look and listen to some of the sample audios. Okay, so this is our studio. We haven't launched the B2C service yet. It's almost ready, so we are thinking about launching it at this book fair. but it will be, whatever you see it today, it will be ready within a week or two. So you should be able to get in and take a look and play with it and test with your own book. Now, it all starts by uploading EPUB file. Right now, we take a text file and EPUB file. We've been testing with the PDF file, but the results is not really consistent. So we are sticking with the EPUB and text file. So this is your random book EPUB file, and see how it does it. Simply, you just upload it. Now it's uploading it, and then it will be reading it. And then it pulled out the title of the book. And then it takes about 10 minutes. Actually, it takes a little bit less sometimes, but we give that 10 minutes window to finish as much as we can. Now, instead of waiting, we're gonna go into the one that we've already did it. And all you have to do is just, after uploading it, getting into the studio, by clicking this, you can just simply export the whole thing. And it will be downloadable as a zip file with chapters, so you can easily distribute your file through the aggregators platforms. Now let's listen first and see how it is.
Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus. Written by Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. Narrated by John. Chapter 1. I am by birth a Genovese, and my family is one of the most distinguished of that republic. My ancestors had been for many years counselors and syndics, and my father had filled several public situations with honor and reputation. He was respected by all who knew him for his integrity and indefatigable attention to public business. He passed his younger days perpetually occupied by the affairs of his country. A variety of circumstances had prevented his marrying early, nor was it until the decline of life that he became a husband and the father of a family. As the circumstances of his...
All right, and we built this pause control, which allows you to change the pause between sentences, paragraphs, and section headers, the chapters. Now, doesn't matter how well the audiobooks are made by a professional narrator. When the user plays like 1.5 speed of the normal speed, it just doesn't deliver the quality of it. It just ruins everything. So instead, of course, the users can play however speed they want it. But instead, when we are making this, whoever's making this, you can control the pause between sentences and paragraph and headers. You can create the sensation of faster or slow without compromising the natural speed of the actual voice come with it. And I think this is very critical. Also, same time, if you're a voice actor or making this, you don't have to adjust the same pause between the sentences. It's all going to be automatically controlled by this. So it will save you a lot of time. And since we are here, we want to change a voice a little bit, and because we have a very powerful cloning technologies, but we are just going to introduce one very basic one for now. But what's coming will be very amazing for voice actors. But simply with a one sentence, we can clone your voice with professional level pre-made voices. So we can make you speak or read like a professional narrator. And here's one example that I did it with me speaking, or my voice speaking in British accent. So here I pre-cloned it. And see how my color of the voice overlap with British accent, synthetic voice, and reading this.
Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus. Written by Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. Narrated by Kevin British. Chapter 1. I am by birth a Genovese, and my family is one of the most distinguished of that republic. My ancestors had been for many years councillors and syndics, and my father had filled several public situations with honor and reputation. He was respected by all who knew him for his integrity and indefatigable attention to public business.
Okay, so you get the idea. So you as an author, if you're making your own audiobook with your book, your voice can play a certain role here. You don't have to read the whole thing. Of course, we have a pronunciation change or pronunciation guide. It reads really well, but sometimes some names of foreign language it's just not pronouncing as you want it to be. Definitely you can change it with the your phonetic spellings, but what we are going to add is not only, well, sometimes it just cannot do it. Then what's coming up in the near future is you can record how that word should pronounce, and then we will make it happen rather than typing it up, because sometimes just spelling it out just doesn't cut it. So that we have another one coming up. Now, what's exciting for us is multicasting. It's just still a beta stage, but thanks to LLM technology, this multicasting capability is around the corner. So what it does is basically LLM, like I said, read the whole book and then decides what kind of voice is most suitable voice, and it describes it. And right now, it's just matching with the pre-made voices. But what's coming very soon is, if you want to change the voice, not selecting from the list or pre-made a list, you just change the description of it, but just changing the prompt, just changing the description. Our engine will create a voice that describes, the voice that you entered in, because the voice that you just heard and you will be hearing now is all 100% synthetically made up. It's just like having an equalizer with different controls. So if there's a specific voice that we want to make, and by controlling this equalizer buttons, for example, accent from British to American, how much accent you want to put it, how fast, how deep voice should be, etc., etc. There are a lot of controls elements, and whenever you put in the description of the voice that you wanted, it will generate as soon as you enter that in. So all our voices are not cloned from somebody or voice actors. It just doesn't exist. It just makes as per the request. So that's what's unique about it. Now, this is a multicasting sample, and the reason that we are testing is this. From the book, trying to make a multicasting, there are a lot of he said, she said at the end. That it's really distracting, because that he said part should be read by narrator, not the cast. So there are a lot of changes of character voices. So, but it's not like a screenplay to make an audio drama. So multicasting that we are presenting here is somewhere in between. So this is kind of unconquered territory that territory that we are trying to explore. So there are a lot of testings going on, but just to give you a sneak preview of it, and I think we will be launching with a beta, and then you can play with it if you have any thoughts on how it should be. But well, basically, for the multicasting, LLM is revising the original book as per the multicasting purpose. So we are touching the content, so we are kind of a little bit cautious about it, but this is a test. So with your book, definitely you can give it a try and test and see how it is. But we need some professional thoughts on this in terms of how this multicasting script should be look like. But let's listen to it. There are 3 characters, including the narrator.
A Room with a View, written by E.M. Forster. Narrated by Kevin British. Chapter 1.
The Signora had no business to do it, no business at all. She promised us south rooms with a view close together, instead of which here are north rooms, looking into a courtyard, and a long way apart. Oh, Lucy!
And a cockney. Besides, it might be London.
She looked at the 2 rows of English people who were sitting at the table, at the row of white bottles of water and red bottles of wine that ran between the English people, at the portraits of the late Queen and the late Poet Laureate that hung behind the English people, heavily framed, at the notice of the English church. That was the only other decoration of the wall.
Charlotte, don't you feel, too, that we might be in London? I can hardly believe that all kinds of other things are just outside. I suppose it is one's being so tired. I suppose
This meat has surely been used for soup.
All right, so like I said, this is just still a beta state, but we are very excited to show you this and what's coming in the future. I think this will create a lot of opportunities in terms of your book content to audiobooks. And let me go back to my slides and show you the rest of business opportunities. Now, since we are new to this industry, we are just tech guys, and these are the key players to us as target customers that we want to approach. And every player here has different needs and also the connection points. So self-publishers, publishers, large, small, and voice actors even, and the platforms and service providers. So now this is something that we worked really hard on. Basically, you can make your own book into audiobook as low as $1.99 per finished hour. And so basically, by paying $20.99 subscription for annual subscription, you can get 10 hours every month. So if you have a book about 350 to 400 pages long, that's converted into about 10 hours long audiobook. Not sure exactly how much it would cost before, but you can make your book into an audiobook basically $20. But of course, the little catch is it's with an annual subscription. But our normal price is basically $9.90 per finished hour. Still, it's a fraction of what it used to be. And what you get is basically you can upload as many as books you wanted, and you will get a lot of good quality audios. And you can also buy additional hours if you need it to finish your book at $9.90. This is, to me, is something I really work hard on because this is what we think is affordability. And this definitely will change how audiobooks are made. And a lot of people will be hopefully making their books into audiobooks. Now, for the professional narrators, at our launching version, it's not going to be ready, but it will be. Now, what's happening now out there with voice actors, what they can make money off of working with the voice, AI voices is basically they clone the voice, and their cloned voices will be available in the marketplace. And anybody want to use your voice, then they will compensate and then give you money based on how much your voice is used. It's a very passive income, and it's not really clear whether it's an accurate number or not. And it's not going to be a big money. However, we approach it a little bit different way. Voice actors are very valid player in this whole audiobook industry because they're creators. So The way we do it is they clone the voice, but their voice itself, it's a very unique intellectual property. It's their own assets. I don't think it's a right to be shared unless they consent to it. But from our perspective, I don't think there's a need for it, because we see them as a potential user of our service. Because as of now, they maybe take a job through ACX and then they make audiobooks. With our system, they clone the voice, but it will be very different cloning. There's a high quality cloning. So we can take more data from the voice actors and we can copy the way they read books. So it will demand more amount of data, but we will try to make it as close as their reading style. And they use their voice for their own audiobook production. And then they will make money by delivering the audiobooks. We're not paying them, or we're not paying them for using whatever, but they pay us to use our system, same as everybody. But they will be delivering the audiobooks to the author or whoever they give the job. And it's going to be an active income. So it used to take 2-3 weeks to make one book. With our system, they can make as many books they can, but it's with their own voice. Of course, there's some gray area that is an AI made, audiobook or AI assisted. It's kind of a new territory that we have to really get into it. But as long as the voice actors are confident about the clone voice is theirs, and the output of the results of this audiobook is something they can really vouch for, then they deliver that audiobook saying this is AI assisted, but it's their own voice and with their assets. I think this is a way that voice actors can make more audiobooks per month, and this creates more income opportunities. And that's how we think, and that's how we view this whole thing. For the large publishers or small, if anybody needs to make more than one book per month, there's a different plan called Publisher, but also something more scaling up. With an annual subscription base, of course, $9.90 is just monthly plan, but with something bigger scale, with an annual base, with the minimum guarantee, we will give you the volume discount with signature voices and team project. Multiple users can work on the same account, and we will separate and give you a dedicated GPU so that we're not sharing the GPU with the big traffic there. And this is one benefits that we are planning on. So if you're interested in, talk to us. Now, everybody else, any opportunities that your own platform or online service, or you are looking into getting this audiobook service, whatever, then we can provide all these technologies through APIs. So you can integrate our engine into your service, and you can offer what we offered within your platform. And this all can be discussed, but it can come with exclusivity of a certain language, country, or region. Of course, since we're a startup, so there's a possibility or opportunity for you to, own some of our shares. And also imagine the service that you saw on the left top corner, instead of Synthia logo, it can be your brand, and just start launching the service. And that's also possible. Our goal is about making as many audiobooks as we can by lowering the price and creating this capacity. Now, lastly, what are the languages available? Korean and English for sure. We are ready to kind of launch B2C service. And in purple, there are languages already, but doesn't mean we are going to add to our B2C service. For now, we have no interest or no plan on doing that, since we don't know the market. So this is where we are looking for partnership for digital languages specific, and hopefully we can expand the languages through our B2B partnerships. And the languages in green, basically they're there, but it just needs some fine tuning. So if there's a need for it, it can be up and running in a month. And definitely this is something also we are exploring the opportunities. And anything other than these languages, sure, in theory, it is possible, but there'll be a lot of questions about business feasibilities and the data, et cetera, et cetera. So anything other than these 19 languages, please talk to us and discuss and see what's possible. All right, so now we turn time over to questions. I'm gonna stop sharing. So if you have any questions, okay, there's. Okay, well, sorry, I'm gonna go through questions here. So the file has to be EPUB or Word, PDF, HTML. For now, like I said, TXT file or EPUB. Word, no. PDF, yes, but quality is a little bit shaky, so we recommend converting into EPUB and text file. Can the AI voice handle foreign language words with the English text? Very good question, Jenny. That's one thing that our CTO is very proud. When there's a foreign, not only foreign word, foreign sentences mixed with the whole body, it recognizes that language automatically and it reads really well. So that's something you can try it with the very specific book that you have a sample. We've been testing it and it's working great. And I know a lot of other voice engines out there, it just doesn't work quite well. It just it sometimes doesn't even language at all, but ours work really well. What does Synthia do with the content other than create audio file? We don't handle IPs. We provide the technology to the content makers. So just look at us as a technology providers. Make it cheap to make an audiobooks. Okay, we are not. We are interested in getting into platform and audiobook, but that's not something we can pull that off all out by ourselves. So if any business partners out there looking into this huge business opportunities with us, that's what we are looking for. So your author, self-publisher, best-selling novel, which is only available in print ebook. I barely need. Yes, Synthia can make it, but you have to do it. We made it very easy. Like I said, if you're not going to be checking all that 8 hours long audiobooks, then simply you upload it, export it, that's it. Then you will get MP3 files downloaded, you can publish and selling it. But I highly recommend, give it a try, listen to us, see how well it's made. All the way through 8 hours. Very strong voice. And it's only as low as $20. Okay. Okay, other than English and Korean, we tested with a few natives. They're really good. So we are going to bring, and we're gonna bring some samples in German, French, Spanish, and Portuguese next week at the show. So if you have some samples, then we will bring some of the voices. You can test it and listen to it. But other than that, all these languages that I showed you, that's the status. Yes, can it produce multicast unique voices? Yes, you can make voices as much as you want it, and then you can cast them. You can be a producer yourself instead of AI does it, and you can change all the voices. We may get you more cloning rooms, because right now I think we set it at a 5, but if there are more demands, of cloning access, then we will get you more voices, cloning access, so you can create more voices. With the cloning features, there any ethical concern about unauthorized use of people's voice? Yes, we've been thinking about it. The way the cloning works right now is you have to read one sentence. The sentence is just random, but to collect the voice sample, you just have to read it. We're not gonna be having people upload the file because it can be then someone's famous voice and cloning it and all that. But for now, that's how we want to block abuse case of some voices that unwanted it, just cloned it, because I know it gets it very serious and we take it very seriously. So we will, but for the voice actors coming into the system later on, probably earlier next year, we will have to accept the file to clone because we need a big data. And then we need to go through some verification process with them so they make sure it's their voice. Can you link audio narration to existing ebook? That, I don't think it's our job. Would the narration automatically stop at the end of the page? Yes, it will. But then I think I'm not getting the question right. You link the audio narration to existing ebook. We only provide the results would be the MP3 files, and linking this MP3 files with the existing ebook is something that you have to discuss with I think the ebook service providers. But we believe ebook and audiobook should be in one place, and it's just different way of consuming the book contents, not separate product itself. If I didn't get the question right, Jasper, may want to catch up. Oh yeah, maybe that's what. We can provide SRT file with where script with a timestamp on it. If that's what you meant, yes, you can just simply download it, or maybe it gets downloaded automatically with your MP3 file, so you can do something with it. So language, we skip that. Portuguese, we do have Brazil Portuguese and Portugal Portuguese, same as Spanish. Spain Spanish and Latin Spanish, we have them both. Can one use service or so podcast script? I believe so. Podcast script is script, except it's not going to be in the book format in terms of how it's just structured. So I don't know how our AI will generate it in terms of audio script, but I think it would be more simpler than the book format. Can I choose how many different voices I want to use for dialogue? Yes, absolutely. Like, will every person be assigned another voice automatically? Yes, it will be. By default, automatic casting is done, and then you can change the voices as you wish, becoming your, a producer of your own book. How will coding books coding books? We're talking about coding as computer coding. That's a good questions. We know the it reads math, and yeah, that's a good question. We never tested codes. Yeah, probably not. We can give it a try, but we are very specific to now focusing on fiction and nonfiction, but some educational materials. It's a little bit stretched at the moment. About dialects, yes, this is something we are working on. It will be definitely coming in, but how fine-tuned the dialects, I don't know. It's just fighting against the data. So this is where we believe voice actors' role is very important. Their voices, their accents, their styles, and their acting contents, it's just something, it cannot be bitten by AI right now. So this area is where voice actors will continue to play a very important role, but not just them spending their time making it on their own, but with technology like Synthia is providing. we can find something much bigger picture. If I'm selling my physical books, BookPay, I use your audio service. No, we don't do that. Sorry, we don't do that. It's just consider us as a tool just to make an audiobooks. Traditional dialogue by one voice, yes. Single narration is something it's ready to go. Emotions, right now, we let the AI control everything. Sometimes I disagree, but sometimes it just makes me laugh because it does a good job. But we are preparing the next version where we have a little bit more control over the AI, how this AI producer is telling what to do. Right now, we just let it happen. And sometimes there are certain parts make me kind of shake my head a little bit. But a lot of times it works pretty good. So that's where we are right now. And just so you know, it's getting improved and evolving every day. Okay. What if I have more than one iPod file of the book? Can I see? The size of the book doesn't really matter for now. We have taken, it's quite a big size of the book, but you have to put two files into one and make a one file. You cannot upload two different files and we don't combine them, okay? Because it's designed for one book at a time. And if you're putting two books, but two different books into it, it's gonna mess things up, I just guess, because it's not gonna work, because it's gonna treat the whole book as one book, and then I don't know how it's gonna turn out. It's not how it's designed. How about dynamics of transcript children books? Yes, children books are most difficult book, and one of the weakness that we have is the children voice. So this is the area that I think we lack a lot of data. So children books, I don't think it's gonna deliver the satisfying results at the moment. But this is something that we are really getting into it. Picture books, when AI cleans things up to prepare for the audiobook, it just deletes all these pictures, okay? And I think it deletes the description of the picture if it's written right below. So it's making it everything for audiobooks that we design. So children's book. But speaking of which, what we are thinking, if anybody's interested in this, with our voice cloning technology, with a children's book, a lot of parents read the book for them, for their kids. But however, we clone the children or parents' voice beforehand and make that parents' voice read the children's book for the kids when parents are not there. So this is something like more service level. It's not Synthia is providing, but we have technology. So anybody interested in this service area, come and talk to us. We are very interested in expanding these opportunities. SRT file cannot be uploaded, but we can provide SRT file. So if you have SRT file, you may do some cleanups and make a text file and upload it. Clone voice is exclusive. Yes, if you cloned it, even there's a security measures, even we cannot get into that voice. It's so deep hide. So it's very difficult for us to even getting into it and having access. So our city is very strict about this, securities. So once you clone your voice, your own voice, original file recordings, and then all these clone voices, we cannot touch it. But if you want to sell it, maybe yes, later. But we're not having any plan for IP voice marketplace kind of platform yet. For now. Okay, one more question, and then I think I'm gonna close it. Okay, what do not approve the quality? Money back. Yes, that's a very good question. If you don't like the quality of it, if there'll be a money back. So for now, you have to kind of understand that this system is new. the technology itself is so new that nobody has come this far. And we are very front line of this whole industry and the whole area. So there are still some area, it's not perfect, okay? But we have built some tools that cover the mistakes or some shorts, okay? So you have to be a little bit generous about this technology. So that's why we trying to lower, we focusing on lower the production cost. So it's just make it available for everybody. If you're looking for highest quality product out there, then probably I recommend hiring voice actors paying thousands of dollars. This is not that area. We are still evolving, still getting better. One thing for sure, right now, today is the lowest quality level, but it's keep improving every day. So it will get only better. And we are trying to make it even cheaper as we go, because that's what it's all about, so that we can make as many audiobooks as possible. We want to innovate that, and that's the revolution that we are focusing on. So if there's some mistakes, something it's not happy, but still, this is a very meaningful tool that making your book into audiobooks and let your reader hear. Okay. Now, before we go, sorry, if you have more questions, now what we need to do is we are coming next week. So visit us. This is our booth number, and my email is there. So if you want to sit down and talk something more deep, then send us a meeting request through Connect. Then we will arrange the meeting. I'll be there and have a chat. If you give me some heads up, then we will prepare some answers for you. If any questions that I wasn't able to answer, please send me an email. I'll be happy to reply to you. And as much as exciting it is, we are very exciting about this. But this is my closing. The nature of the audiobook market, the whole thing is it's not about technology. I think the core nature of this whole industry, the audiobook, is about the contents. Who has to shine is the author who creates this amazing content. Also, maybe voice actors, they are creators. Also, without the distribution, this book just doesn't go anywhere. And we are just the tech guys. We are just new player in this game, and we are still learning. But we are not here to shine ourselves. But everything that we've been focusing on last few months to deliver this technology is to have you shine. Because I felt as an user, as an audiobook listener, just there are so many books out there are never get to shine. And that's what the motivation is, where we're coming from. So we're tech people, and that's what we are good at. We will keep doing what we are good at, improving it. But please, this is about the content. It's about you. You are the protagonist. You have to shine. So this is what it's all about. This revolution, it's not about us. It's about you guys. So hopefully we will continue to do our job, and hopefully we will help you, not only about the money, but bring about another golden age of this publishing industry. And I think that's the message that we want to deliver today. Okay, thanks for coming, and hopefully we see you next week and face to face and talk about more in depth. Okay, thank you very much for your time today. Bye bye.